Detroit has been unified around its football team this year like no other. And one of the biggest reasons is our next guest on the Radiothon, and Dan Campbell, the coach of the Detroit Lions. How about it for him? Hey, Dan.
How you doing?
This is a rare treat to get a chance to talk to you. I know how busy you are. Thank you for taking time.
Absolutely. Glad to be on.
Yeah. The Lions have done an amazing thing for the city of Detroit. I mean, we try to bring people together to, help those who are less fortunate. They could be their kids, be they teenagers, veterans, senior citizens. Say Detroit covers all of them. But you've probably seen them. I mean, you played here before, obviously. You played all over the league and traveled all over. But there's a pretty unique spirit in Detroit in terms of how it comes together for a cause, be it football or for charity, right?
Yeah, I see that, and yes, it is. It is unique. Not every place is like this, and I do think it's a combination of really what was, what the city was built off of, and the kind of work that was involved to get it to where it is, and then to have the hard times and to get back out of it, and really just the spirit of giving and helping each other out, I think is big. And Detroit embodies that better than anybody, and that's, when I think of grit, that's what I always think of is the city of Detroit in this area.
Yeah. How do you, you go from playing on a Lions team that, shall we say, didn't have a lot of success. Now you're the coach of a Lions team that's having so much success that everybody's kind of pointing to you as the reason for it, and the magic is Dan Campbell. How do you keep insulated from that so that it doesn't go to your head, so it doesn't distract you, so you don't become, the focus that you don't want to be? How do you balance all that?
Well, look, the easy part of all this is, that it's easy to start singling out one person here, one person there, this player, but the obvious is, man, when you have the kind of success we're having, or anywhere where you have success, it's because of teamwork, and it takes a team. And I'm all about the team. And I've always said to me, man, you get this thing where you want it, and you're having success. I would rather just sit in the back seat and let these guys take over. And because we all win. And it takes a village, it takes a team. We got good people, we got competitive people. And we got people that are team oriented, and that's across the board. That's from ownership to president to GM to the coaches here, the coordinators, the players themselves, equipment staff, you name it. It's all for one common goal, and that's to be the best of the best. And it takes every one of us.
Yeah.
But I did see a Dan Campbell lookalike contest this weekend,
yes.
So there are some perks coming out of that.
The guy who won, he's actually pretty close to you, a little grayer than you, right. I think.
Yeah, they showed me some pictures. I'm not going to lie, it was pretty close. It was
I think
close.
I think it's you in about 10 years.
Well, the good news is, look, if something happens, if I do something wrong, I'll just blame it on that guy.
Yeah, that's right. And you can have, he can get out of cars instead of you, and then you can duck out like the spy.
That's right.
Did you ever think that your locker room speeches would become viral sensations? People wait on Sunday nights to see what you had to say to your team.
No, I didn't. And, you get used to all of it now, but you don't. I still, from the time that we win a game and you go in there, I don't think about the fact we're going to have cameras in there. And, luckily they cut out a lot of the stuff that I do say, because it's not for public consumption. But
right. Yeah.
But listen, it is what it is. I know the fans enjoy that, but that's just how we are in the locker room, and it always feels good to get a win.
Yeah, well, your speeches are great, and I think every time we play them sometimes on the radio program, and the reaction is always like, I want to go play for that team. I want to go play for that guy. Somehow, do you take that from when you were a player, what you wanted to hear from a coach, or does it just kind of come out of your mouth?
No, I think that more than anything, I just know this as a player, I always responded well to coaches that were authentic and they were themselves. And it didn't matter what that was, man, because I've had coaches that were wired very tight, man, but I knew who they were. And then coaches that were everything was monotone. They were pretty low key. It was matter of fact, dry sense of humor. And I appreciated that. That's who they were. And I've also had some throughout my time that were fake, and I didn't respond well to that. And so I think the most important thing is, I'm going to be myself no matter what it is. And if I feel compelled to say something in whatever mood I'm in or my emotion, that's who I am. And if I don't have something, I'm not going to fake it. I just won't speak, or it'll be monotone. It'll be low key. But you got to be yourself. And I believe in that.
Yeah. Well, it comes across.
Yeah. I was wearing down about 5 minutes ago, Dan. I'm ready for another 10 hours now. I was almost ready to tap out.
You guys got a long one. I mean, I'm hearing 9 p.m. That's a long time.
Yeah. What are you doing about 7:15 tonight?
I'll be up. Trust me.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. You'll be looking at tape. Are you going to have enough guys to field the team against Buffalo this week?
Well, hopefully we'll find out. We'll know more today. Actually, I think we're going to get some guys back. We had some guys practice yesterday, Levi and Pascal and those guys. I think Mac's going to make it. We may get Reeder back. We'll see, but Decker, I think we're going to at least have a couple more than we had last week. But we'll take it as it comes.
No, this should be a real test. This could be a Super Bowl matchup. I know you don't want to talk about Super Bowl. I'm saying it, not you. But these are right now two of the best teams in football meeting. So this should be a hell of a test.
It should be. This is a really good football team, and they've got as much over there and as much talent and ability to make it on their side as we do. So you never know. I mean, this could be the first of two matchups. We're looking forward to it. Certainly Josh Allen makes things difficult. I mean, that team does in general, the way they play, very disciplined, play hard, explosive offense, defense. But Josh Allen is, he's a factor. He's somebody we're going to have to try to contain.
Yeah. By the way, I wanted to ask you, I see a lot of coaches in the NFL, and I know the hours that they keep, from the Dick Vermeulen sleeping at the office 6 nights a week to all the rest of it. And a lot of them look like they sleep at the office, and some of them look like they eat at the office too. You actually still look like you could play. Do you work out with the team or something? How do you even find time to stay in that kind of shape?
No, I could not play anymore. All right. There's no freaking way. I say this all the time. No, do I work out every day? I don't. However, I never stopped working out from the time that I was done playing. So I never really took any time off. Now, it doesn't mean that, hey, I'm off a couple of weeks or a week here, a few days, but I just never let myself go away from that. So I've always, I bend, I squat, I push, all of that. But it's not like I load up like I used to. But I try to stay active and at least sweat. If I'm able to do that, even in the shower in the morning, I'll do something. So I just try to stay active.
What can you actually do in the shower? That is,
you'd be surprised. You can do a lot in the shower.
and that holds for lots of things, and we're not going in there. Listen, I want to thank you not only for joining us here, but you have been kind enough to offer an auction item for us where people will be able to meet you during training camp next year at Allen Park, take a photo, meet you, watch the press conference and the media seating. And this is a pretty big deal because camp tickets are already sold out for next year. So I'm sure that's going to fetch a lot of money, Dan. I want to thank you first for doing that. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
And are you a music fan?
I do like music.
Okay. By the way, speaking of music, do you know that song that they play every time you score? Nowhere down the field. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, is that like that? Are you aware of that? Could you sing that thing?
No, I couldn't. I'm aware of it. All right. Yeah. And enough to know what it is. But if you asked me to sing word for word, no, I couldn't do that.
Okay. Because it's in my head forever. The great John Pizzarelli, who is a very, very famous international jazz guitar player, plays in New York City, sold out all the time, is actually here with us. And for our special guest, he does always a little thank you ditty. So he's prepared something on the lines to the tune of an Eagles song. Are you an Eagles fan? Not the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes, I am. I do
Eagles
like the
fan.
Eagles.
Okay, here you go. Here it is. Listen.
All right.
You can't stop those Lions guys. Got their eyes upon the prize. You gotta love this enterprise. There ain't no way to stop Dan Campbell's guys.
There you go. Nicely done, John.
That was better than Don Henley. Don't tell Don.
Yeah, we won't tell him.
Also, Mitch, Craig Gass here, stand-up comedian. I'm usually funny. I am working on a Dan Campbell impression I'd like to roll out right now.
Is that right?
Yes. Can I do my Dan Campbell impression?
Okay. All right. You're doing it for Dan Campbell.
I'm
Go
doing
ahead.
it for Dan Campbell. Dan, this is my impression of you at a casino. Keep in mind, my impression of Dan Campbell sounds like Al Pacino. Here we go.
That dealer, she's showing a 6. I got 20. You know what I do? Split them. We're taking this whole casino down. Hoo-ah.
All right, I'm going to work on that impression. Sorry.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like Al Pacino and not Dan Campbell. But, okay. Dan, I didn't know that was coming, but my apologies.
No, we're good.
Thank
was
you
good.
so much. Thank you so much for taking time to do this. We raised $2 million in a single day last year, and your coming on is going to help us hopefully break that again to help needy Detroiters. Can't thank you enough.
Well, thank you guys. And Mitch, what you guys do out there, it's unbelievable. I mean, what you said, the fact that 100% of the proceeds go to helping the needy, man, that speaks for itself. So credit to you and all involved.
All right, we'll see you at the game on Sunday.
Good luck.
Okay,
Thanks. Good
sounds
luck.
good.
Dan Campbell, how about it, folks?